What's up guys, Vex here, and I am finally back with another After Effects tutorial. I sort of gave up on my community montage for a little while. I sort of lost the motivation to do it, which is why I haven't carried it on the series. But I'm doing a tutorial now, and this is on something that a few people have requested, and that is screen pumps. Now I use a method called pan and crop, and there are several ways to do it, but I do it my way. I know that other editors do the same, like similar things, but they change the difference between keyframes, change the values, and all of that. They all have their own style, but I'm going to show you my style and my way. So here we go. So far, it's all I've done is taken my song, put it into a comp, and then trimmed up the composition. Okay. So that's where we're at now. Right. Then the next thing you want to do is you want to go and you're going to want to find in your song the first beats. So let me just listen to my song real quick. Right, so mine is right about there somewhere, and then if you use this little slider thing at the bottom here, or these triangles, that one zooms out of the song and that one zooms in. And I'm guessing you don't have your waveform up. If you don't know how to bring this waveform up, it's very simple. You can either click on this arrow here and then click on the audio arrow and then the waveform arrow, and that'll bring it up. Or for the shortcut on the keyboard, you just click layer and then you tap L on the keyboard twice, and that just brings up the waveform. Okay, so once you've done that, you want to find your first point in your song, and as you can see, the waveform sort of changes a bit, and you know that the beat's going to be there. Yep, my beat's there, and my computer's running slow, I know. And then once you've found your first spot, what you want to do is you want to make a marker. Now this is not necessary, but you want to do it anyway. So if you don't know how to make a marker, you press the asterisk key on the number pad. If you don't have a number pad on your keyboard, I'm not sure how you create markers other than that, because I've always used that way. So if you don't have a number pad and you don't have an asterisk, don't worry about it. Just don't do this marking stage. So I'm just going to mark a few of my points out really quick. I know there's another one that's going to be somewhere there. So yeah, we'll take it to that frame, and there's going to be two more there. So I'll just do maybe 10 frames, and then we'll get into it. Okay, come on. Alright, so I'll say that's about there. I mean, I'm just rushing this for the sake of the tutorial. I mean, I would take my time and I'd do this, and I'd get every beat perfect and everything lined up and whatnot. And that message is really starting to piss me off, so yeah, bear with me. Sorry for swearing. That was, yeah. Okay, this will do. So as you got your points here, the next thing you want to do is you want to create an adjustment layer. Now, adjustment layers, whatever's underneath the adjustment layer is what gets affected, okay, by whatever you put on the adjustment layer. So we're going to rename this to, I don't know, screen pumps, sake of argument, and this screen pumps layer would need to be above all of your clips and all your compositions and anything else. The only thing that you don't put above it is your black bars. So let me just show you what I mean really quick. CC Jaws, I don't know why I just put caps lock on. 83. So you'd have an adjustment layer, CC. That would go underneath, so you'd have your black bars on top, then the screen pumps layer, and then your CC, and then you'd have all your compositions for your clips. Okay. Now on this screen pumps layer, we're going to type in the effects and presets. We're going to type in transform. We're going to drag that in there and drop that in there, and we're also going to enable motion blur with these load of circles here. And what you would do if I just quickly import a clip. Oh, gone too far there. Come on, clip. Let me just take this one real quick. Right, so you'd have your composition like this, obviously. You'd have your gun sounds and whatnot in there. Then this would go here, underneath the CC, the screen pumps and the black bars. Alright, and then it's what you do once you've enabled motion blur. On all of your clips, you see how you have like a matching motion blur symbol here. you'd have to just click on that one, only on the compositions. You don't need it on the screen pumps or the CC or the black bars, only on the compositions. And if you haven't got these little symbols, which means you got these, you got mode, track mode, track mat and parent, so all you need to do is press F4 on the keyboard and that switches between them. Okay. Alright, so now is what you would do is once you've got transform on the screen pumps layer, you would go to your first beat and you would take up the scale to, let's say, 115. Then you'd stopwatch it, you would go back 3 frames, so control and the left arrow key, 1, 2, 3, or you could just like drag this line back 3 if that's easier for you, and then you're going to set it to 101. Okay, and if you push U on the keyboard, so what that does is it brings up all the keyframes on that layer. Okay, and if you don't know, these little diamonds here, they're called keyframes. So yeah, so you do that, and so far all you got is this little increase in scale, and your beat should be here where it's at its biggest, so 115. And then I'm going to go over to my next beat, which is what you would do. You would find your next beat in the song. That is why you mark it, because it's much easier to find. And then you would change the scale again, so whatever you want your thing to be on your next beat. I wouldn't suggest going above 119 for this. I would keep your range sort of between 103 and 119. I wouldn't really go any smaller or bigger than those, just keep that range in between there. So we're going to set this to 110, then we're going to go back 3 more frames. I don't know what's wrong with my computer today, but it's messing up, so yeah. So go back 3 frames again, and I'm going to set this to 101 again. Then is what you get is you get a sort of, it goes up here, and then it gradually gets smaller until it gets to this point, and then it goes back up to your next beat. Okay, so that's what you want to do for all your beats, just changing the values every time. So let's make this like 118, go back 3, put it to 101, and you just literally make up random values or values that work for you. So 106, 1, 2, 3, 101. Literally, that's all you do. And the reason you set it to, I set it to 101, you could set it to 100 if you so wish, but I set it to 101 because on all of my clips I add a wiggle effect, and when you add wiggle, sometimes you get like little black edges appearing in the sides and the top, but obviously you got black bars so you don't see the top and the bottom, but at the sides you get like little black bars. So I set it to 101, and then that sort of gets rid of the majority of them depending on your wiggle settings. But anyway, that's kind of going off topic, so we'll just get back to this. Right, and basically all you need to do is just keep on doing this process for every beat in your song. That's what I do, and it works for me. So let's go 109 and 1, 2, 3, and then you set it back on, and then 101. And then once you've done that all the way through, yeah, so you got all the way to the end of your song, you've done every single beat, is what you want to do is you want to highlight all of them. So you just click in an empty space, drag out, and it sort of makes like a little selection and it highlights them. Once you've selected all of them, you press F9 on the list. It should, but obviously Camtasia doesn't like that. So I'm going to right click on the keyframes, go to Keyframe Assistant and Easy Ease. And so that's what you get. And then you get this like changes to sort of like those timers, you know, those egg timers. I mean, not egg timers. There's like sand timers. Yeah, it changes to them. And that's all you need to do for the screen pumps, or pan and crop if you want to call it that. Just do that all the way through your song for the rest of it, and that's it basically. This is quite a quick tutorial. I hope it helped you out. If you have any questions about it, or you want to see any more tutorials, leave them in the comment section below. And thanks for watching, guys.